Morning, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. So as I was saying at the end of my last video and throughout most of my last video, we had some very unforeseen circumstances happen down here in Florida over these past few days. Hurricane Ian came on down, decided to show his ass, and left all kinds of destruction in his path. So we went and hopped in the dually yesterday. We cruised down from Sarasota, went down to Venice, down to Northport, Inglewood area, and then almost down to like Port Charlotte area. Saw tons of devastation. If y'all didn't see that video, check that video out. It's pretty wild, some of the stuff that we saw. But I was pretty helpless in my dually. I wanted to go help some people out, but we really couldn't. I was pretty limited on what I could do because obviously you can't drive a standard sized truck through some really deep water. After giving it some thought, we decided we're going to load up the Killin side by side and head on back down to the Northport area and see if we can help some people out. We're probably going to start at this neighborhood I saw over there at River Road and 41. There's a neighborhood that looks like that damn thing is completely underwater. I don't know if there's any people still in there, so we're probably going to stop by there first though, and then we're going to head down to Sumter Road and 41. There's a lot of neighborhoods there that look like they're underwater. So I'm going to hop in the dually. We're going to go ahead and drive on down there and let's see what we can do to help some people out. Because I'm thinking the side-by-side, as I was saying in my last video, is probably going to be the most ideal vehicle to try to help these people. Airboats definitely are very convenient, but in some of the neighborhoods I saw, there's so many freaking down trees and like limited access. You really need something that's very small and can get in some tight quarters like that, because it looks like in some areas you're actually gonna have to go around the road and up onto the sidewalk and everything. So you're definitely not getting through that with a mega truck or anything like that. So mega truck wouldn't have done me any good if the thing was all together anyway. But I'm thinking the side-by-side is probably going to be ideal. So I'm going to hop in the dually though. We're going to cruise on down and see what we can do to start helping some people out. I do want to go ahead and say up front though, I'm not sure how much of this I'm actually going to film. So we'll see. I have no idea. I'm not going to go and put my camera in someone's face if after they just lost everything, they're an emotional wreck. I'm not going to, hey, how do you feel about this? Nah, kind of a dick move. I don't think I'm going to do that. So, but I will try to pass as much of this along to y'all as I can without being disrespectful to those that are in a freaking very tough time. But we should be ready to rock. We got the Killin side by side all ready to rock and roll. Can go through a decent amount of water. I think these tires are 31s. So, I mean, I should be over 30. So, I mean, that's about 3 foot of water at least, maybe 3.5 foot of water, something like that. I should be able to go through with this, no problem. Now, this thing is snorkeled. It comes factory like that from Can Am. And my snorkel is actually right there. So right underneath that blue cover is where the intake for the engine is. And then the rest of the venting and whatnot comes right through here. So, I mean, I can go through water about up to here. So, yeah, that's solid, probably a solid 3 foot anyway. But we got plenty of fuel, got some drinks for everybody, got my chainsaw, got my waders. So we should be dialed in to make some kind of a difference down there. So let's hop in the dually and get this driving part out of the way, because I think it's going to take quite a damn while to get there. We're going to be sitting in bumper to bumper traffic. So let's hurry up and get that part out of the way. All right, y'all, we just got to that first neighborhood, the one I was talking about, right over here at 41 and River Road. And it looks like every freaking house is underwater. There's probably about 2.5 feet, maybe a little more of water right in the middle of the road. And everybody's house kind of ducks down a little bit off the road. So there's water in everybody's house here. Everybody's house is completely screwed. But we're going to cruise around a little bit, see what we can do to give these people a hand. Well, this is freaking intense. All right, y'all, well, that was actually all I filmed of this first neighborhood. We ran into quite a few people that we helped out, but no, I didn't film. As I kind of expected, they were not feeling it. So I was not about to pull my camera. Hey, you mind if I do some YouTube recording right now? No, I don't think so. So we ended up just giving some people, basically everybody had already evacuated that was going to evacuate. There was a couple people that were still staying in their house. They didn't want to leave. They had 2-story houses, so they're staying up in the top story, and they didn't want to leave their home. So I definitely understand that. I get it. But there were plenty of people actually that were able to give rides to and from like the entrance of the neighborhood back to their house, so they could collect some of their belongings. We loaded them all up on the side-by-side and then gave them a ride back to their vehicle they had parked over there where the street was still kind of dry. So we were able to help them out. But again, as I said, sorry I couldn't film any of it for you guys. I did film that little bit as we were pulling into the neighborhood, but when I saw how upset these people were, I wasn't about to pull the camera out. So on to the next one. Now we're going to get back. I'm already back in the dually, but we're going to hop back on 41 and I'm going to keep going south. We're going to head on down to Northport, right around Sumter area. I'm going to see if maybe I can actually ask one of the cops, one of the highway patrol guys that are directing traffic, or just ask one of them where they could maybe use a hand with the vehicle like the one we've got, like the side-by-side back there. So, and we're off. cul-de-sac type area. It's not a cul-de-sac, it's like the back corner of the neighborhood. There's like, we found 7 to 10 different houses, all with families and people in them that are wanting to leave, but they can't because their cars are completely swamped. Their cars won't run, they've got water all in them. So I just pulled up to this house right here. We've got a whole family, like 10 different people, so it's gonna be a bunch of trips to get these people out with all their, they got a bunch of luggage packed up and everything, like suitcase, I guess, with their most important belongings. I'm gonna go ahead and try to put this stuff in the side-by-side. I'm gonna load these people up and start shuttling them back out to the front of the neighborhood, back where I parked the dually up there where it's still kind of dry. But I'll film a little bit of it here in a minute, but I'm not gonna do it right now. Are you all about ready? Well, y'all, I started cruising towards the front of the neighborhood, and that family mentioned to me, they didn't really speak the greatest of English, but they mentioned that one of them had a truck that was down at their neighbor's house, but it was stuck in the front yard. I guess somehow during the hurricane, they went to go move it and got it stuck in the mud in the front yard. So that's what was going on right there. They're like, oh, hey, they asked me to stop. They had the truck stuck, and obviously a side-by-side's belt driven. Really, it's not made to be pulling out a freaking full, like, no small-sized truck, mid-sized truck. But we decided to give it a try anyway. Luckily, I had my freaking bubble rope. Thanks, bubble rope. Y'all was taking very good care of us. But I was able to use the bubble rope and was able to actually pull that truck free. And, yeah, be able to send them on their way. I actually pulled that truck all the way towards the front of the neighborhood, got them to unload all their stuff out of the side-by-side, and we loaded it into the truck, dialed in, ready to go. So I'm going to keep on making trips here. I'm going to put the camera away probably for now. But I'm going to keep making trips here because there's a bunch of people in the back of this neighborhood that really need help, and I don't need to be dicking around with filming stuff. So I'll check back in with y'all here in a little bit. Yeah. So this is Miss Laura. She was just telling me she spent the night in her attic.
I spent the night in the attic. I took tools up there. And the water was a foot in my garage, and I feared for my life and my dog's life. Oh. And I went up in the attic, and I stayed there overnight, and I took tools up there in case I needed to get out of the attic.
Yeah, that's good thinking. Good thinking ahead.
And
it's getting pretty freaking dark. We're still pulling people out. The amount of devastation here is freaking crazy. And this isn't even like Fort Myers, like where it was real bad, but the water level definitely is getting higher. You can see a lot of the cars are starting to go up here. Yeah, that water level is going up. Son of a... freaking whooped. So it's now like 2 a.m. in the morning. I just got home. I forgot to do any of the freaking video stuff to fill y'all in what's going on. But we cruised around the neighborhood for a little while longer. Got like 2 more families out. Loaded them up in the side-by-side. We were able to cruise them out to the front of the neighborhood. And then we went to go leave, and I guess one of the levees has broke over in the Mayaca River. So the water level is actually starting to rise up. The hurricane's gone, but the effects are like getting worse and worse for these families. So one of the people we got out of their house, it was this nice lady. She didn't have anywhere to go and didn't have any way to get a ride. She was pretty well stranded. She did have a friend that lives up on Longboat Key that she could stay with, but she had no way to get there. So we loaded the side-by-side up, loaded her up, loaded all of her belongings up, the stuff she had with her, and loaded her, she had a little pet cat with her, loaded them up in the dually, and then we hopped on Sumter, the cop that was right there kind of helping everybody, he was actually not a cop, he was a guy from the fire department. He was on that airboat that was in the video a little earlier. He said we could go down Sumter and could probably just get on the interstate there to head north, and we were going to bring this lady with us, drop her off at Longboat Key, and then I'm going to cruise back south to like South Sarasota where I live. Well, we get all the way to the freaking interstate, and they wouldn't let us on because it was all, I guess the roads are flooded near there. So something was going on. So turned us back around. We went all the way back down Sumter, which was, it's like bumper to bumper traffic. So we got all the way to 41, went south on 41 a little bit back to Toledo Blade because that's the exit that we had used to get to the area where we were at, and went all the way down to the interstate. Freaking 2 minutes, not even, maybe a minute before we were to get on the interstate, they closed down the interstate because the water level in the Mayaca is rising so much that it's up onto the interstate. So the interstate's now closed. So back out to 41, and we had to take 41 all the way north. What a pain in the ball bag. 41's like our main road here in like Venice, Sarasota County area. But needless to say, I'm freaking wiped out. So I drove her all the way up to Longboat Key, got her dropped off, got her settled, make sure the house that she was staying in didn't have power, but the generator was running. I guess it's got like a whole house generator. So she was good to go. And then we cruised on back home. So I am super wiped out. I'm going to go inside and get some sleep, but I'm thinking probably tomorrow morning we're going to get back at it. I think I'm going to go back to that same area because I'm sure there's still people that needed help. It was just getting dark. I was getting exhausted, and everybody kept telling us that if we were going to leave, we probably needed to leave because the floodwaters were rising. And I think we might have got everyone out of that neighborhood. I think tomorrow the main focus is going to be people that are returning back to the neighborhood. And hopefully, I think the water is going to rise tonight, and then it's going to subside back down by about midday tomorrow. So I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and get back to that same neighborhood because we seem to be very useful there. There didn't seem to be really anybody else helping there. And that side-by-side was the freaking ticket for trying to get around those busted tree limbs, those big trees that are falling in the middle of the road. I had to go up on people's yards and stuff to be able to, I mean, it was all underwater, but I still had to go up on people's yards. I couldn't even use the street because there's so much debris on it. So I think we were very useful there. So I'm going to go back to that same spot tomorrow. We'll probably see if we can give some people some rides out to their house to get belongings, if we can help anybody maybe clean up some debris around their house. I don't know, whatever else we can do to help. So, but I'm freaking whooped. As you can probably tell, I'm rambling on. I'm going to go inside and go to sleep. Tomorrow morning, we're going to get back at it again. So, night, y'all. We'll see you here in a few seconds. Morning, y'all. All right, I am feeling a hell of a lot better after getting some freaking sleep last night. Whew, that was a very, very long day. I was in the truck for about 5 hours coming back from Northport last night. That was what a pain in the butt. Just going this way and that way and backtracking. Usually it only takes me about 45 minutes to get to or from Northport from where I live. Yeah, we were in the truck for about 5 hours before we could drop that lady off and then get all the way back to the house. That was a hell of a day. So feeling locked and loaded. Freaking batteries are nice and supercharged back up, bro. I'll tell you that. So got the side-by-side. She's actually still all loaded up. So I'm going to go ahead and hop back in the dually. We're going to go back to that same neighborhood. As I was saying last night, I feel like we were very useful there because tight quarters and everything. The side-by-side was like an ideal vehicle to be able to get the people to and from their homes. Because that neighborhood is actually pretty freaking big. Like back in that back area where we were evacuating everybody out last night, that was probably, I'd say, a good mile and a half back into the neighborhood where the entire trip you're in water at least 2 feet deep. Sometimes it gets up to like 3 foot deep, but at least about 2 feet deep. So you don't want to wade through that crap, especially if you don't have the proper equipment. You don't have waders and everything. Most people don't, unless you're into the extracurriculars that we are. But yeah, we're going to go back to that neighborhood though, hop back in the side-by-side. And I'm pretty sure we got everybody out. That fire department guy that I talked to right before we left that area last night, he said that he thought we got everybody out too. So I'm thinking the main focus today is actually going to be helping people out that are going back to their homes to reassess the damage after the water level rise last night. And basically trying to help get them to their homes so they can evaluate the situation, maybe help them get some belongings out, get them back out to their vehicles, or if there's anybody still there, we can give them some rides out too. I'm pretty sure we got everybody out, like I said, but yeah. So that's the game plan for today. So I'm gonna hop back in the dually, we'll get back down there and jump in the side-by-side, and it's freaking go time. them to the front. Luckily, we got our bubba rope to freaking help us tow. Got a whole mess of stuff. Heading out. Almost to dry land. We found the problem. No wonder there's so much water. Somebody left their hose on. Just kidding. Probably not the kind of joke about stuff like that. So we just finished getting all of his tools and guns and stuff out. Now we're gonna try to tow his PT Cruiser up to some dry land with the old Killin it side by side. Hopefully it'll still start back up once we get it over there. Successful mission, got the PT Cruiser out and all of his goods. And on up over yonder to his neighbor's house. Good to go. On to the next one. We just collected this guy from his house. He said he's been waiting for someone to come to get him and no one showed up. Luckily he saw us when we were passing by. This is his backyard. He used to have a shed right there, I guess. That's what he was just telling me. And he had 12 inches of water in his house as of last night. just started subsiding a little bit, but none of his cars will run or anything. So we got him loaded up the side-by-side, and we're gonna take him to dry land over to, I guess one of his friend's house, a little ways down the road. Well, I think we're about to wrap it up, but check this shit out. This is crazy. So that is how high the water was. See that, like, oop. See the water line that's like right there? That's how high the water was at the worst point, like right in the middle of the hurricane. How freaking crazy is that? So there's water literally in all of these houses. Freaking insane. Right there you can see it pretty good too. That line where all that debris is. That's how high that freaking water level was. On our way out again. Just gave him a ride to his house so we can take some pictures for the insurance company. Yeah, I think there was quite a bit of water in there for sure. Very, very sad stuff. I think we're about to wrap up this day. We've had pretty much everybody we could find in this neighborhood. But yeah, look at this road. Look at the one behind me. Crazy shit. Crazy, crazy stuff. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I didn't mean to be a dick. Some of y'all that saw me on Facebook, but that's why when some of you guys in like Bradenton and Sarasota, I haven't had internet in like 2 days. It's like, bro, my phone's not working. This is fucking bullshit. I can't believe I don't have internet and Wi-Fi. Bro, do you know how fucking lucky we are? Pull your heads out your asses. It could be way, way worse. Maybe put yourself in some other people's shoes. Might be an idea. Not to be a dick, but it's a good suggestion. Well, y'all, that's a wrap on Hurricane Ian as far as the Killin' It Lifestyle YouTube channel is concerned. We stayed there in that neighborhood for a little bit longer, got that gentleman back out to the front of the neighborhood, then actually loaded up and head on over to a buddy of mine's house, and that just turned into a big pain in the ball bag too. I went to go cruise over to my boy Biscuit. He's the guy that does all of my tattoos for me. He lives right in that Northport area, so we headed over to his house for a minute, check on him, make sure he was doing okay, see if we could do anything, actually ended up bringing him some gas. But on the way there, that turned into a big, giant cluster because I put his address in my GPS, went to go start cruising that way, and there was a big oak tree down right in the middle of the road. So I rerouted, went to another spot, another giant freaking palm tree right in the middle of the road. Tried rerouting one more time, and again, another tree was in the middle of the road. So I pulled out the pole saw, was like, all right, someone's gonna need to use these roads. If an emergency vehicle needs to be able to get through this road, it'd be a good idea if this road was cleared out. I have the ability to do it, so let's go ahead and clear it out. I go and get the pole saw, start cutting the freaking wood up, clearing the tree out of the way, cutting up in small enough pieces that I could get it off the road. And as soon as I clear that first tree, look down the road, and bam, 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 bam. There's like 4 others. It's like, bro, you freaking serious? So, ended up being, should have been about a 5-minute drive from where we were at over to where my boy Biscuit's house is. And I actually ended up taking us about 30, 45 minutes. Yeah, real freaking sweet. So that's a wrap on this video. If you all enjoyed it or found it informational, please hit the like button at the bottom of your screen. And as always, hit the subscribe button down there on the channel name. That way you'll get notified anytime we upload any other videos. So I hope you all enjoyed the video though. And if you guys, I said it in my last video too, if you guys have any suggestions on as far as like charities or like ways that people can contribute, basically like online, if they could send money to try to help aid people down there in the hurricane disaster area, please put that down in the comment section and I will do what I can to try to help promote that as well. We want a good charity though. We don't want one of those ones that's lining the pockets of the people running the charity. No, that's not at all what we're looking for. Looking for something that gives a good majority of it just about all of it back to the people that really need it, the people in need. So if you guys have any suggestions, please make sure you let us know those suggestions. But thanks again for the view and for your support. And as always, thanks for watching, y'all. If y'all enjoyed the video and want to check out future videos, subscribe to our channel. Hit that button right there. While you're at it, hit the like button at the bottom of your screen. You can also check out our website, killin'itlifestyle.com. There you can follow the Killin' It crew and order your own apparel so everyone will know you're killing it!